Planning a trip to the Europe? From buzzing cities to jaw-dropping natural wonders, here are 25 of the very best places you absolutely need to see. 1. Paris, France. Paris is more than a city. It's a living work of art. The Eiffel Tower dominates the skyline, especially magical when it sparkles at night. The Louvre, home to the Mona Lisa, houses treasures that span centuries of human civilization. Take a slow walk along the Seine, where bridges glow in the evening and bookstalls line the riverbanks. Montmartre, with the white domes of Sacré-Cœur, feels like stepping into a village of artists and dreamers. Beyond the landmarks, Paris thrives in its cafes. Order a croissant, sip coffee, and watch the rhythm of life go by. Paris is grand and intimate at once, romantic yet restless, timeless yet always reinventing itself. 2. Rome, Italy. Rome is where history never sleeps. The Colosseum still echoes with the roar of gladiators, while the Roman Forum remains a reminder of empire and power. Just steps away lies Vatican City, home to St. Peter's Basilica and Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel, a ceiling that feels almost divine. Toss a coin into the Trevi Fountain and join centuries of wishmakers. Wander cobblestoned piazzas like Piazza Navona, alive with fountains and street performers. And Rome's history isn't just in its stones. It's in every plate of pasta, every gelato, every espresso shared with friends. The Eternal City isn't a nickname. It truly feels eternal. 3. London, England. London is tradition and modernity woven together. Big Ben and the Houses of Parliament stand as symbols of history, while the Shard and London Eye showcase the future. Buckingham Palace and the changing of the guard remind you this is still a royal city. Museums like the British Museum and National Gallery hold treasures of the world. But London is also neighbourhoods. Notting Hill with its pastel homes, Camden with rock culture, Shoreditch with graffiti and energy. Pubs are cultural as much as culinary. Order fish and chips with a pint, and you'll feel at home. London is global, historic, and endlessly alive. 4. Barcelona, Spain. Barcelona is a city of imagination. Antoni Gaudí shaped its identity from the spiraling towers of Sagrada Familia to the colourful mosaics of Park Güell. Walk the Gothic Quarter's medieval alleys, then breathe in salty air at Barceloneta Beach. Las Ramblas pulses with performers, flower stalls, and street life. Catalan pride runs deep. You hear it in the language, taste it in dishes like paella, and see it in fiery festivals. When day turns to night, Barcelona transforms again. Bars and clubs stay alive until sunrise. It's eccentric, beautiful, and always surprising. 5. Amsterdam, Netherlands. Amsterdam is a city made for wandering. Its canals stretch like ribbons, reflecting narrow houses with gabled roofs. Rent a bike and you'll blend right in. Cycling is the heartbeat of the city. Art is everywhere. Van Gogh's brushstrokes, Rembrandt's masterpieces. Anne Frank's diary that gives voice to history. Jordaan's cobblestone streets are lined with cafes and boutiques, perfect for lingering. In spring, tulips turn the city into a painting. By night, bridges light up, and the city feels like a fairy tale. Amsterdam balances freedom, history, and charm in a way few places can. 6. Berlin, Germany. Berlin is raw and real, yet creative and forward-looking. The Berlin Wall's remnants, painted with murals, remind of a divided past. The Brandenburg Gate, once a Cold War symbol, now stands for unity. Museums on Museum Island take you from ancient Egypt to classical Greece. But Berlin is also nightlife. The clubs here are legendary, often lasting until daylight. Street art covers entire blocks. Food is global. Currywurst one moment, Turkish doner the next. Berlin never hides its scars, but turns them into strength. 7. Vienna, Austria. Vienna is elegance personified. Palaces like Schönbrunn and Belvedere echo imperial grandeur. The Vienna State Opera and Musikverein make it the capital of classical music. Mozart and Strauss still live here in sound. Coffee houses are institutions. Order a melange and linger for hours. Museums show everything from Klimt's The Kiss to contemporary art. But Vienna isn't frozen in the past. It's modern, stylish, and vibrant. 8. Prague, Czech Republic. Prague looks like it leapt out of a storybook. The Charles Bridge, lined with statues, leads you to Old Town Square with its astronomical clock, ticking since the 1400s. Prague Castle crowns the skyline, a mix of Gothic and Baroque grandeur. Cobblestone lanes twist and turn into surprises. Hidden courtyards, tiny pubs, and bohemian cafes. At night, the city glows golden, and the Vltava River reflects centuries of beauty. 9. Budapest, Hungary. Budapest is two cities in one. Buda with its hills, castle, and churches, and Pest with its wide boulevards and parliament building rising by the Danube. Thermal baths, like Széchenyi, are more than relaxation. They're a way of life. Ruined pubs built in old courtyards mix history with nightlife. Cruise the Danube at night and you'll see why it's called the Pearl of the Danube. 10. Istanbul, Turkey. Istanbul is where continents meet. Hagia Sophia blends Christian mosaics and Islamic calligraphy in one breathtaking dome. The Blue Mosque stands nearby, elegant with its 6 minarets. The Grand Bazaar is a labyrinth of spices, carpets, and treasures. Cruise the Bosphorus, and you'll float between Europe and Asia. The food, kebabs, baklava, Turkish tea, completes the experience. Few cities carry so much history and energy. 11. Swiss Alps, Switzerland. The Swiss Alps are pure majesty. Zermatt sits at the foot of the Matterhorn, a peak as iconic as it is striking. Jungfrau and Interlaken are gateways to glaciers, mountain lakes, and snowy slopes. Summer brings hiking trails with wildflowers, while winter turns villages into ski paradises. Trains like the Glacier Express cut through scenery that feels unreal. 12. Santorini, Greece. Santorini is drama. Whitewashed homes cling to volcanic cliffs, capped with blue dome churches. Oya's sunsets are legendary. Crowds gather in silence as the sun dips into the Aegean. The island's beaches are unique. Red sand, black pebbles, volcanic shores. Wine flows from local vineyards, and food tastes of the Mediterranean. Fresh, simple, unforgettable. 13. Cinque Terre, Italy. Cinque Terre is 5 villages carved into cliffs above the sea. Rio Maggiore, Vernazza, Monterosso, Corniglia, and Manarola are linked by trails and train lines. Houses glow in colors of pink, yellow, and orange, reflecting in the water below. Hike the coastal paths or sip wine in a village square. It feels untouched, like time forgot these fishing communities. 14. Amalfi Coast, Italy. The Amalfi Coast is drama and beauty rolled into one. Roads hug cliffs that plunge into turquoise seas. Positano looks like a painting, houses stacked on hillsides. Ravello offers gardens with panoramic views, while Amalfi itself is full of history. Food here is a dream. Fresh seafood, pasta with lemon, and of course, limoncello. 15. Norwegian fjords, Norway. The fjords are nature's cathedrals. Towering cliffs rise straight from the sea, waterfalls cascade down green walls, and tiny villages cling to shores. Cruises take you through Geirangerfjord and Nærøyfjord, where silence is broken only by rushing water. It's raw, powerful, and unforgettable. 16. Scottish Highlands, Scotland. The Highlands are wild and mystical. Rolling hills and lochs hide legends of clans and battles. Loch Ness draws curiosity, but Glencoe steals the show with rugged beauty. Castles sit on hillsides weathered by centuries. The Highlands feel like stepping into a myth. 17. Plitvice Lakes, Croatia. Plitvice is a symphony of water. Wooden walkways take you across turquoise lakes, each spilling into the next with cascading waterfalls. In autumn, the park glows in red and gold. In winter, it freezes into a fairy tale. It's one of Europe's most unique landscapes. 18. Iceland's Golden Circle, Iceland. In one loop from Reykjavik, you see nature's power. Thingvellir National Park splits tectonic plates apart. Geyser erupts skyward every few minutes. Gullfoss waterfall roars with icy power. Add in volcanoes, glaciers, and northern lights, and Iceland feels like another planet. 19. Madeira, Portugal. Madeira is an island of eternal spring. Mountains rise steep from the sea, dotted with vineyards and gardens. Lavada trails, old irrigation paths, make for some of the best hikes in Europe. The food is hearty, the wine sweet, the people welcoming. 20. Lake Bled, Slovenia. Lake Bled is straight out of a fairy tale. In the middle of the lake sits a tiny island with a church. Ring the bell for good luck. Above the water, Bled Castle watches from a cliff. Surrounding mountains complete the scene.